Hello, my forest friends. It's Teacher Jasmine here, and I know we can't be in class today, but that doesn't mean we can't be together. I've got one of my favorite new books for you. It's called Nobody Hugs a Cactus. Now, why do you think nobody hugs a cactus? Well, they've got little prickles on them, and this particular cactus doesn't look very happy. This book is by Carter Goodrich. This is Hank. He lives all by himself in a house in the desert, and that's just the way he likes it. Or is it? Hank lived in a pot. The pot sat in a window. The window looked out at the empty desert. It was a hot, dry, peaceful, and quiet, just the way Hank liked it. But every now and then, somebody would interrupt Hank's peace and quiet. "Hi, Hank," said Rosie the tumbleweed. "Isn't it a beautiful day?" Hank ignored her. He just wanted to be left alone. Sometimes I just want to be left alone. There's nothing wrong with that, right? "Okay, so long," said Rosie cheerfully, and she tumbled away. And Hank was happy again. Looks very content on his own, doesn't he? Well, just as he was beginning to relax, somebody else came along. "Hello," shouted a tortoise. "Private property," he yelled. The tortoise was so frightened that he hid in his shell. Whew. Hank is getting a little heated, I would say. Hank was still yelling at the tortoise when a jackrabbit dashed by. "Hiya, Prickles," she shouted. "My name isn't Prickles," he yelled back. "And stay out of my yard." Yikes. Tumbleweeds, tortoises, jackrabbits, what's next? Said Hank. I wouldn't really want to visit his house, I don't think. Then a coyote came loping by. "No dogs allowed," yelled Hank. "I'm not a dog," said the coyote, "and you are as prickly on the inside as you are on the outside." Aw, it's not very nice, but maybe is it true? Before Hank could yell back at the coyote, a cowboy strode past. "Keep off the grass," Hank shouted. "What grass?" said the cowboy. "Seems to me somebody needs a hug." Too bad nobody hugs a cactus. "Hi," said a lizard. "Who invited you?" said Hank. "And just in case you're wondering, I don't want a hug." "Well, that's good," said the lizard, "because I don't want to give you one." Then he skittered away. An owl landed on the roof. "If you're looking for a hug," said Hank, "well, I guess I could give you one." Sounds like he's beginning to change his mind about that hug after all. "Who, me?" said the owl. "You must be joking." And for the first time, Hank began to feel a little bit lonely. Nobody wants to give him a hug. But at first he didn't want a hug. The next morning, Hank was feeling a little more sad on the inside than he was prickly. Maybe a hug wouldn't be so bad after all. I think everybody wants a hug every now and then. The wind began to pick up. An old cup blew by and stuck right to Hank's face, and his arms were too short to get it off. "Great," said Hank. Just what he needed. After a while, Rosie came bouncing by. "I'll get it off for you, Hank," she shouted. And she jumped up to knock the cup off of Hank's face, and then she tumbled away. Hank didn't have time to thank Rosie. He felt bad about all the other times he had been so rude to her. So he came up with a plan. What do you think that plan could be? What could he do to make up for all the times that he's been rude to her? Hank decided to grow the best flower he could and then give it to Rosie as a thank you gift. It took days, but at last it was ready, and he couldn't wait for Rosie to pass by again. When at last she finally did come bouncing by, Hank held out the flower. "Look, Rosie," he said, "I grew it just for you." Rosie was so surprised, she jumped up and gave Hank a great big hug. It felt so nice, Hank didn't want to let go. And as things turned out, he couldn't. Rosie and Hank had become stuck together. Probably because Hank has all those prickles and Rosie has all those curly tumbleweeds. But they didn't care. After all, it's better to be stuck in a hug than stuck all alone. There you go. Tumbleweeds will hug a cactus. And I think if Hank asked me for a hug, I might give him one too. What do you think?